I have a bit of a confession to make, and that's that I don't care about movie trailers.
I was saying boo words.
I don't really care about them, and I want to talk a little bit about why and have a bit of a rant, I guess. That's right, it's rant o'clock. I have some complaints to make and talk a little bit about why I feel like I don't quite fit in with my online film buff peers. Trailers are a film industry unto themselves. They get views, they gain hype, they're talked about non-stop upon release. Reaction videos, trailer reviews, and thought videos and articles, discussions and internet threads, these are all to be expected when it comes to a major studio release of a trailer for an upcoming and much anticipated film. A blockbuster movie trailer, if the internet is to be believed, is powerful enough to make just about every nerd on the planet just instantly shit themselves in pure excitement. But the thing is, when it comes to trailers, is that they are often misleading and they zig and zag and show only what they know is going to work best as a marketing ploy as possible. And they also often show their cards all too much, all too soon as well, giving away vital pieces of information before the audience is even able to see the damn thing, which can be really frustrating for certain people as well. Movie trailers are all things from intentionally manipulative to arguably spoiler-centric, as they go about trying to build up an audience for the following film. And when a new one is dropped, there's also all kinds of discourse too. There's people who are trying to find every single detail possible before going into the film itself, where they research the freaking trailer. They look for every nook and cranny and find every Easter egg possible just to get a glimpse of what the movie may or may not be, just so that they can go and talk to their friends about it or make their own content based on it. Talking about that, there's also people who film themselves, watching a trailer as they absolutely just scream because they got a sheer glimpse of the update to like their favorite superhero's new costume in the latest film or something like that, And then there's also people who will avoid trailers at all costs and complain about them, talking about how they show too much. There's also people who just count down the days. They can't wait. They absolutely get so excited for the upcoming Marvel or whatever other big studio there is that has announced that a new trailer is dropping in a few days or whatever. Some people are very much into this stuff. Some people are actively not. And then there's also people who just, they watch a trailer and they go, huh, that was all right. Maybe we should see it. And then that's it. They never really think about it again. And look, that's probably most people, if I'm being honest, but even to them and to everybody else, I just have to say this. I don't care. I don't care about movie trailers. A movie trailer is never really my driving point as to whether or not I decide that I want to see something. A movie trailer has never really been an exciting event to me either. I don't count down the days and look forward to the latest big event trailer. And opposed to that, I also don't avoid them at all costs either. I just really, really don't care about them all that much. The way I decide on my interest levels for a movie though is usually by finding out details like the brief plot premise combined with some behind the scenes stuff like who's directing it, who's in it, that kind of stuff. Or if not that, either like maybe it's a sequel to something that I already like and so I already know what to expect. Like that's kind of the thing. Everybody is shitting their pants right now at the latest trailer for Doctor Strange, say, which came out kind of recently. But really, if that's not relevant by the time I upload this, that's not really the point. It doesn't really matter. Insert any relevant trailer here, okay? Everyone is pooping their pants for relevant trailer, okay? But like, I already know what to expect from a film like that. Like when it comes to Doctor Strange specifically, I get it. Sure, I'm not going to know every secret cameo in the film. I'm not going to know every single twist, I'm not going to know all the little secrets and stuff and whatever. But for the most part, I get the idea. I understand what it's going for. I know the vibe and all that kind of stuff. So when it comes to a trailer like that, that's really not all that effective to me. Anyway, that doesn't really get me all that interested, at least not more interested than I already was. Like, I'm gonna see Doctor Strange either way. A trailer isn't really the thing that was ever gonna convince me prior to seeing it because I already know the bones of that movie. I already kind of understand what it is. The only time I'm really that keen to watch a film trailer is for a film that I don't already know that much about, or a film that could go either way in terms of what kind of movie it's going to be. That's why to me, indie movie trailers are much more interesting than something for the latest blockbuster that's coming out. Like the latest trailer for freaking Jurassic World 3 or Fast and the Furious 10. Like, I don't care about that kind of trailer because what the hell else do you think it's gonna be? It's pretty obvious. You know what to expect when it comes to something like that. Indie movie trailers though are something something that are trying to sell me on a new idea that I'm not already vaguely, at least, aware of. And I find that to be much more effective in terms of convincing me to see something. The only movie trailer in recent memory that I really cared all that much to watch was the trailer for Jordan Peele's next movie, Nope. And that's because it's a film that's shrouded in mystery. That's a film where we haven't really been sure what to expect. We didn't know what it was about. And so watching the trailer, it's kind of part of the mystery, and the marketing for it is actually relevant to building up that hype. The Nope trailer plays as more of an unveiling of itself, a glimpse of the overall vibe and not much else. And that's all I ever really wanted or needed from something like that. But in comparison, I don't need to see a third trailer for a movie like Sonic the Hedgehog 2 or whatever, you know? Because you know what Sonic is, you know roughly what the movie's gonna be. Whether or not you're a fan or not, whether you care or not, whether you respect that as a franchise or not, or whatever, that's not really the point. I'm not trying to criticize anybody who's a fan. I'm not trying to tell anybody who hates it, yeah, you're right or you're wrong or whatever. That's not the point. The point is, even if you are a fan of Sonic, you know what that is. You know what that's gonna be. Like, the trailer isn't gonna blow your mind in some super surprising way. It's probably just gonna excite you because you're gonna be seeing stuff that you want to see. And there's nothing wrong with that either. But I'm just saying, I don't really understand. I just don't really understand what the point of that is all that much, if that makes any sense, you know? You already know what a movie like Sonic 2 is going to be, so whether or not you're interested in that piece of media without seeing the trailer first, you get it. And something else on top of this, like Sonic right there, every other blockbuster movie like that seems to also render up enough content to almost piece together the whole fucking thing before you even go to see the film on release date. Because, you know, usually these sorts of movies render up 3 different full trailers, and on top of that there's teaser trailers and TV spots all combined showing you new footage and all this kind of stuff, and these don't often get me any more or less excited than I already would have been after having seen the first trailer. So I just simply don't get the hype to this format. I don't understand looking forward to the second or third trailer of something all that much. Sure, maybe if it's something, no, actually, I'm like, maybe if it's something I'm really excited for, like, you know, Spider-Man No Way Home, but even then, not really. I didn't really, I watched the trailers, I enjoyed them, I guess, but they weren't like huge moments for me. That all being said, again, I'm also not actively avoiding trailers like some people as well. I'm not running out of the cinema, you know, covering my eyes and stuff when a new trailer comes on with my fingers in my ears and stuff, singing la 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 la. I don't care. Like, it's not that big of a thing. Because as opposed to not caring all that much about trailers in like a positive way and not getting all the hype, I also don't care about trailers, you know, in a negative way and showing too much and that sort of stuff. For the most part, it really does depend on the movie, and to be honest, typically I will only watch half of a trailer when I'm going out of my way to watch one. You know, sincerely, when I'm watching on my phone at home, I will stop halfway through just in case they do show too much. But 90% of the time, even if I've seen the full trailer multiple times before seeing the movie, it's pretty damn rare that that's ever gonna completely ruin my experience. But look, I respect anybody who doesn't want to know anything going in, you know, I get that, but that's not really my thing. I would like to at least know the premise. I'd like to know who's directing it. I'd like to know the genre, the general vibe, and the runtime, stuff like that. I prefer knowing these things going in. Obviously, I don't want to know all of the spoilers. I don't want to know who lives and dies and all that kind of crap. But for the most part, anyway, trailers don't really show that stuff anyway. Like, you know, most of the time, I'm not too worried about that. Trailers, if they are acting as they're meant to, really just play as little vibe checks for the most part, and I like to think of them as atmospheric setups. They present the tone going in, and that can just sometimes be nice, depending on the film. But I get that there are a lot of people who think that they just always show way too much, and you know what, to an extent, with some cases, I definitely agree. But another thing that I tend to disagree with people on are sometimes what the boundaries to these sorts of things are. Like, here on this channel, I'm always careful not to spoil things and not to say too much unless labeled as a spoiler video first. And I go harder on this than I'd really care, you know, that much about if I were just a watcher of this channel. See, the things that people consider to be spoilers nowadays can sometimes be ridiculous. You know, you tell them that their favorite superhero wears a green suit for a little instead of a red one in their latest film, and oh no, that's ruined everything. Hell, you can tell people that Tom Holland was in the latest Spider-Man movie and someone out there will consider that to be a spoiler. Maybe I'm exaggerating. I don't think that many people would, but someone out there, one person at the very least would, I think. Anyway, when it comes to spoilers and trailers though, what often annoys me about people's rules are that it's often dictated by the trailer. The trailer tells you what is and isn't okay to say. Which, look, does make sense because, you know, it's fair game. It's out there, it's public information if it's in the trailer, and honestly, that's what I go by as well. You know, because it's safe and everyone kind of assumes this rule as well. But what the trailers can sometimes show feels inconsistent, you know, when it comes to this rule. Like the fact that Michael Keaton's Batman is coming back in the upcoming Flash movie, just for instance. That isn't a spoiler to say. Am I right? Am I wrong? It's in the trailer, you know. Everyone kind of already knows about this. Everyone's sort of talked about it by now. But Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire being in No Way Home was absolutely considered a spoiler when that came out. And I agree with that. And personally, I was glad that that was the case because I loved that uncertainty and I loved the big reveal during the movie. It made my little heart soar. It was a great experience that people who were nostalgic for the 80s Batman will now not get in this new Flash movie. And that's just an example of this inconsistency. This though does all lend into the marketing and insecurity compared to confidence between the DCEU and the MCU. The MCU knew everyone was coming to see No Way Home, you know? They could afford to hold off on that reveal, whereas the Flash movie might not garner so much attention. Revealing Michael Keaton early is definitely an attempt at building up hype, and so they're really total opposites in that approach, which I find interesting. But anyway, regardless of that, when we're talking about plot details and trailers and stuff, in the majority of cases, I'll be honest, it won't matter what they show because by the time my butt's in the seat watching the film, I'll probably have forgotten what was spoiled in the trailer anyway. Another way I think I work a little bit differently from everybody else and my online peers and stuff is that fundamentally, I think I'm a bad trailer watcher. I'm not good at piecing everything together. I don't pick up on one single line that might suggest something big further on in the movie. And I don't remember which big moments were in the trailer once I'm actually watching the film. I think anyone who watches a trailer and does piece all this stuff together and it ruins the film for them is kind of really clever. And to you people, I say keep avoiding trailers at all costs. I get that. You know, for those people, the trailers probably will ruin the experience. But for me, I'm a dummy. I'm an idiot. I'm a dumbass. I'm a doofus. And I'll probably miss this stuff. I probably won't put all that stuff together and I'll miss things. So it's fine. So I don't really care that often about trailers showing too much. I'm not too concerned about them. And I also don't actively seek them out either. See, basically for me, it works like this. If the trailer is presented to me in cinemas, cool. That's fine, and I'll watch it and whatever, it might get me more interested. If the trailer just drops on YouTube though, I honestly probably won't watch it, at least not straight away anyway. And like, that's not a big sacrifice for me though. I know some people avoid ruining, you know, movie trailers because it's gonna ruin everything for them and they try hard not to watch that trailer, but then feel like they're missing out on the discussions and stuff. But I don't really get that. I don't really care that much about talking about the trailers, you know? I'm not really like that for the most part. With some, like Nope, hell yeah, I'll talk about that. But trailers just aren't a huge temptation for me for the most part. You know, it's something that I'm like actively trying to avoid. I really will just not watch. It's not that big of a deal. You know, even the one I was talking about earlier, the trailer for Nope, which I was pretty excited to watch. Even for that, I waited a bit. You know, I didn't watch that for a good 5 or so days after it was released. And that was fine with me. By the way, if you're wondering what I think of the Nope trailer, I think it looks awesome. I think it looks mysterious. I'm definitely intrigued. But the last 20 seconds or so when stuff starts flying around and everything gets me a little concerned that Nope is going to be a bit too bombastic for its own good. That's a bit of a worry. Like, I don't like in my horror movies when things just start flying around. It's not scary anymore. It's just dumb. But I trust Jordan Peele. I think it's going to be good. You know, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I think it's going to be awesome. Let's be honest. All up, I just don't care that much one way or the other about movie trailers. And on film Twitter, I feel singled out. Everyone else always gets very, very, very excited for them. And so it makes me question, you know, am I missing out or do I see it like it is? Trailers are just advertisements after all. And advertisements, in my opinion, aren't that effective on me. But now that I've said that out loud, no one's going to believe me. But it's true. I don't really buy things. It's pretty rare that I do care about advertising. Anyway, when it comes to trailers, I know they're cultivated with monetary intentions in mind, and I know that they're made specifically for hype. I don't think they're evil. I don't think that they're uninteresting. I don't think that they're bad, but I do think that they're honestly not that important, at least to me. Am I alone? Probably. At least when it comes to, you know, movie fans who regularly watch new releases, I think that they're going to heavily disagree with me, but that's okay. I've just been kind of wanting to talk about this idea and how I feel about movie trailers for a while now, and how I find the obsession with movie trailers kind of fascinating, because I feel like I'm not a part of that. But I feel like I should be, because movies are like this major interest in my life, but they just like don't really do that much for me. I don't know. It's interesting. Tell me what you think. And that's it. That's all I have to say. Rant or whatever this was is over. Goodbye. Please do the things, all that stuff. And yeah, see you next time.